Hello boys, it is the one everyone has been asking for, the full Evolution trading guide. How's the trade cards like this Marmouche, Davies, Ibanez, Doku, Ekatike, Murillo, Eder Militao, all of these cards that skyrocket for Evos. How can you trade them? And don't worry, this isn't going to be the standard, just go buy Rashford and Doku. It's going to be 5 different ways that I trade Evos. All of them can be crazy profitable. Number 4 is the one you are probably here for, but I have done all 5 of them before to make some crazy profit, right? And all of this, boys, is with no leaks, not a single leak whatsoever. We're not paying for Sheriff or Foot Police, Discord, all that crap, right? If you're in them, good for you, but we're not even going to talk about them. This is how you can trade leaks and how you can make coins of evolutions without even knowing the leaks, right? Before they even put them in the Discord. So let's jump into number 1, which is club stocking Evo cards. This is the safest way. It's the way that everyone should do, no matter how good you are at trading or whatever. And guys, if you want to use players like this and like this and just need that little extra boost, then you can get your cheap, fast, and most importantly, safe FC26 coins at eldorado.gg. They have 24/7 support, a money-back guarantee, and you can use code JEAD at checkout to get another 5% off your order. Link is in the description. Not only am I going to give you all of these 5 different methods, I'll also give you cards that I like. So, for example, with club stocking, right? He is not the only one, but we have, oh, if I can spell his name, that would help. Jesus. We've also got this Max Beer, right? He's not the only one I like, but I'm going to talk about him because it's one of the club stocks we did in the free Discord, so we can show you that it works, right? We all picked them up for around 15,000. Jesus, not 200,000 coins. We all picked them up for around 15,000 coins, right? We club stocked him, and he went to about 28,000 coins, and he's actually coming back down, possibly to buy again for the club stock at 23,000 coins. So what is club stocking Evos? How do we do it? How do we choose which cards? How do we know when to club stock? All of that good stuff. I've got you covered, don't worry, right? We can club stock both special cards and gold cards. You see in the beer there as a special card, but we can also club stock some gold cards often for Evos like Adeyemi, but it's choosing the right cards. Is he still up in price? That is insane. This guy's an 81 rated card, but it's choosing the right cards. That's what I want to go over with club stocking, right? Now, again, this is probably not as exciting as method 2, but really, boys, this is the safest coins you'll make all year, like every year now. It's ridiculous as long as Evos are in the game. I would recommend you use Futbin. You don't need to, but it's what I'm going to show you how, I would do it. And what even is club stocking, boys? Most of you should know, but let's say you are new, absolutely fine. Club stocking is where you literally just buy one of a card and put them in your club, hence the name club stock, right? Basically, cards take up space on the transfer list, so we can't go and club stock a million cards or whatever because it would take up too much space, but we can club stock cards and put one in each, one of each into the club. Then when they rise for evolutions, like when this beer gets a striker evolution and they go to 40 or 50,000 coins, whatever they end up going to, we then sell them one by one. It makes you consistent profit all year round. Here is how I find the cards, okay? The first thing to take into account is what are the current ratings requirements we have for Evos on the game. Because even though club stocking is for the future, you obviously would like cards that are going to be put in Evos very soon. You don't want to put all your cards into players that might take 6 months to rise. We're not interested. So right now, what is the max rating? And as you can see, boys, it's 85. We've got an 85 Evo, an 85 Evo, an 85 Evo, an 85 Evo, an 85 Evo. It's 85s. We should be getting 86s around Team of the Year time, probably. But right now, it's 85. So all the cards we're looking at need to be below 85 rated. That's the first point. We can go on Futbin. We can put our max rating to 85, and we can hit apply, and that gives us a good start, right? You then have a couple different options how you can do it. You can sort by Futbin's rating. You can sort by price. There's loads of different ways. I think you should sort by price, and I'll explain why, right? No matter how good a card is for an Evo, if they cost 130,000 coins, like this Hoiberg does, I don't know why, boys. Don't ask me, right? But if they cost 134,000 coins, I don't care how good they are for Evos. We're not investing in that, right? So we want cards that are cheap. One of the recent club stocks that did really well, Doku, he went from 40,000 coins to 120,000 coins. Would we have club stocked him for a 40? Maybe not, but he was 40 and he's gone to 120,000 coins. What we're going to do is go for 2 different cards. Like we said, specials and golds. Specials we want for below 20,000 coins. Golds we just want at fodder price or as cheap as we can get them because some cards won't go to fodder price. For example, Rafael Leao is not going to go to 84 fodder price this year. He just isn't. Maybe at like 40s, but he's barely going to get there, right? Another card's Adeyemi. Adeyemi is going to take a long time to get to 81 rated fodder price. But for specials, we can go below 20,000 coins here and start looking at cards we like for Evos. Now, what type of cards are we looking for? They need to, satisfy a few requirements. We've already put the rating requirement in, and we've got the price requirement. The next one we're looking for, boys, is links. People don't want to EVO a card. Like, for example, this random chant, Uzun. People don't want to EVO a card they can't even get in their team, right? This guy, again, Turkish Bundesliga, he's not the worst, but no one's going to go and EVO this card, so we're not going to club stock him. Funnily enough, if you club stock this card as fodder, as a random fodder card, 10,000 coins up to 18,000 coins. And this is a crap card. You can see why club stocking is so good. We're looking for cards that link, so let's see if we can find an example here. Trey Hume is Premier League, but he's not a great link. This Malo Gusto is a much better shout, right? Premier League, right back, French, almost perfect links when we're talking about FIFA, right? That French Premier League. And he's already gone, by the way, from 11.8 thousand coins to 17,000 coins, right? I still think 17,000 coins on this card is an absolutely fine club stock, as he can go to like 30, 40, 50,000 coins if we get a really nice right back Evo that he fits. So link is number one. The second one is meta. Now, if you don't know what meta is on the game, boys, you can't have been playing too long, but I know a lot of you boys can be newer and can be, getting a bit confused when people say choose meta cards. It's a little bit annoying. I do get it. Meta cards are cards that are used by a lot of people. It's cards that a lot of people actually use and not just are fodder, right? It's hard to know that if you are new, but you pick it up very quickly. So one of the cards I'm looking at for a club stock, even though he does not have the best links, is this 85 Noosa card because of how meta he is. His stats are insane. He is just missing a few play styles, so he is great for a club stock. So that's special cards, boys. There is absolutely loads of them there. At the end of the video, I'll give you a few cards that I love for a club stock right now. If we look at gold rares, again, we're doing a very similar thing. Now, gold rares, you're not going to get a lot of the good club stock cards at discard because a lot of people just invest in these cards off the bat, like Llorente, Sal, Mateo, Rashford. But what you can do with a card like Llorente, boys, is go to their market. You can just check their 14-day graph and see what is their sort of low point. So as you can see with Llorente, it's sort of 11.5, 12,000 coins. So that's the absolute lowest he's been in a while. That's the price I'm going to look to club stock him. You can obviously sell him up here for 20,000 coins when there's an EVO out, but you got to 11,000 coins. Right now he's 13. Maybe you could win one on bid because you're just looking to club stock, remember. This is not the investing phase just yet. That'll come later. But you club stock him for 11,000 coins. And basically, yeah, logic is go and club stock one of every special card or one of every gold card, depending on your budget. If you are lower budget, choose some of the cheaper gold cards. And if you're higher budget, choose the special cards. Now, number two is much more exciting. And I should say, boys, as well, go and join the free Discord in the description. That's where we put a lot of these club stocks for you boys. If you're too lazy to go out and find them, that is fair enough. But jumping into number two, this is trading with evolution cards after they actually come out. And this is very, very difficult. So I wanted to put it early in the list, as a lot of people struggle with this one. Rightly so. It's absolutely fine. This is basically where we get a super popular EVO, like Doku, right? Doku, Rashford, anyone like that is super popular. And what happens is they get super invested in for an EVO. So people know that Doku EVO is coming, right? Maybe we get the leak on Twitter and people get the Doku EVO. They go and invest in it, right? When it comes out, you might go from 5,000 coins to 10,000 in the hype. And then it comes out and it goes from 10,000 back to something like 5,000. What you can often do with these cards is then buy them when they drop back down as they have a secondary dip, because all them investors sell off their Dokus. It's actually a really good EVO and we can buy back and look to target that second rise. Now, this is by far the hardest one to do, but I'm going to walk you through how I would try and do it. If you are a bit of a gambling man and want to make some coins high risk, we do love a high risk play, don't we? So let me walk you through how I would try and do this. Now, this is only going to work with two things. Really good EVOs. The evolution itself has to be amazing, boys. Otherwise, if it's not and there's not hype, then the card just drops and it never goes back up, right? So the evolution needs to be amazing. The second thing is it needs to be a really popular card. Now, you see these this year. We're talking about the cards that get pumped a lot for EVOs. Rashford, Ibanez, Doku, Eder Militao. These cards that keep getting pumped for EVOs over and over again, that are super popular. And I'm just chose Ibanez here because you can see it on this graph perfectly, right? Look what happens here. This is when we got leaks in Discords of an EVO. And he went from 8,000 coins to nearly 40,000 coins, right? Insane. You could not have gotten that rise pretty much. That was like a Discord pump, right? Okay? So you missed that first rise. And you think, right, you need leaks for that. We can't trade that. When the EVO actually dropped, boys, if you see from 6 o'clock to 11 o'clock, he dropped down all the way to 20,000 coins here, right? Because what's happened here, so many people invested in him. So many people bought him at max price, expecting him to go to like 50,000 coins, right? He then dropped all the way back down to 20,000 coins. And then what do you see after? What happens? He went all the way back up to 35,000 coins. Now, you can buy in this dip at 20,000 coins because you know he fits our rules, right? This EVO was one of the amazing centre-back EVOs. He's a super popular card. And there's also a third rule that he followed. And I'll show you that in just a second. But if you bought him at 20,000 coins a card, you would have made 15,000 coins nearly per every card you bought. So this can be an insane investment, but it's super high risk, right? If you time it wrong and maybe you bought on this drop here, you bought around here, you can see how he keeps dropping. So it is high risk. risk. Let me show you why Ibanez specifically is one of my favorite cards to do this with. The answer is supply, boys. And people often get confused with supply. They find it difficult. Supply is literally just how many cards there are of a card on the game, on the market at one time. So take a look at Doku, right? Doku is still a very heavily supplied card. Look at his time at the bottom, right? You see that time on Doku? How it's very, very, very slowly ticking up because there's so many cards on the game, right? Ibanez, for whatever reason, I don't really know why. Maybe because all the tradable ones people have put into evolutions. I don't know. But if you go on this Ibanez's supply on the game, and you got scroll the pages, do you see how there's literally like, what, 4 or 5 pages of Ibanez on the entire game? It's kind of mental, right? But what that means is, when all of these cards go down, people are still going to want to do the EVO, and it's going to pump him back up. Now, with a card like Doku, as you just seen, it's very difficult to pump that card back up, because basically, think about how many cards need to get bought for this card to go up in price. So many cards. So Ibanez, specifically, we love this for because of his supply. Now, that is, of course, risky, boys. A lot of you boys don't like risky plays, and I do get it. So what is a much safer way to trade evolutions, trade EVOs, with still no leaks? Well, that is point number 3. That is how I trade EVOs. Numero 3. That was great Spanish. And just before number 3, boys, if you could hit subscribe down below, it would mean the world. Only 18% of you watching are subscribed. So hit subscribe, join the BigJead, I don't really care. Just hit subscribe. More trading videos, coins. We love that stuff. Thank you. Right, number 3 requires us to be on Futbin once again because we want this beautiful market page and we want this beautiful market player list. I think I've showed this before on a few shorts, but I don't show it in videos too much. However, it's amazing for EVOs, right? This is how you're going to find the cards that are getting leaked and pumped in EVOs before they even come out on Twitter. All you need to do is go to version, go to gold rare down the bottom here, and then sort by this difference right there. So it's the highest first, right? So can you see that Courtois is the highest moving player first? I have no idea why, because there's not an 89 rated goalkeeper Evo. But what else do we have, right? We have Amad Diallo, I should say, because we have an Ivory Coast objective at the minute. That makes a lot of sense. But we're looking for low-rated cards that fit certain positions. So another thing you can do is you can put the same rating in. Never mind. Futbin, add that, man. Add a rating filter. Because if we could just put 85, whatever, it's fine, right? But you'd be able to exclude cards like Bonmati. But it doesn't matter, right? What cards do we notice here a lot? Well, we see Ibanez, we see Murillo. So maybe we've got a centre-back Evo leak, right? However, this is like not really conclusive to me. It looks to me like nothing's been that's funny. Nothing's been leaked recently. If something had been leaked, like a left-back Evo, but it just got leaked on Discord, what you would see is Teo Hernandez, Balde, Alphonso Davies, them type of cards would be the top 3. If it's a centre-back Evo, you'll see Murillo, Lacroix, you'll see Ibanez, Militao, Araujo, all these cards that get Evo'd a lot, right? You'll see them all on the top of this difference or even this trend page. You can sort this by trend, high to low, and it gives you a very similar thing, but I prefer the difference one. It just seems to be a little bit more accurate. So, if you see a lot of cards all in the same position, all moving very up in price, you can actually buy them before they reach that high point. So let's say use Murillo as an example, right? He's currently 2,500 coins. However, if you sit on this and you sit on that page quite often, what you'll see with Murillo is you might see the initial rise around here, right? He might start getting pumped in a Discord Evo around here, okay? You can then buy, right? Because you were on that Futbin page, you've seen him starting to get pumped, so you buy all at 1.8, and then he rises to 2.5. Now, this always works better the earlier you are at it. So obviously with Murillo, you'd much rather get him at 850 coins than 1.8 thousand coins, even though both of them would have made profit. You still want the 800 coin price, okay? But it's a really, really easy and effective way to sort of beat the leakers, do you know what I mean? Give them a little left, right, beat them, get the card before they even put it on Twitter. It's how I do it. Now, I don't have a lot of time in the day to track this with all the busy, cool stuff I do, but I'm sure you guys might have a little bit more time. You might not, who knows? But if you can track this when you're playing, when you're trading, it is great. Before we jump into number 4, which is the one you are all here for, let's be honest, one more tip on this phase, right? If we do go back to that Murillo card, one more tip with this one is, boys, I would always sell in the hype. So basically, when we get a centre-back Evo leaked and you bought this Murillo, you might even go up to like 5,000-6,000 coins. Do not wait for the Evo to come out. Evos are absolute nightmares when they actually get dropped on the game. The cards often drop in price because of over-investment. Over-investment is mad on this game. So basically, sell these cards before the Evo comes out. Save coins, it's better. Sometimes the Evo goes even further up, like Murillo might go to 10k after the Evo, but for every one that happens, there's like 10 where it doesn't. So let's jump on to number 4. But always selling the hype. Write that down somewhere, maybe. Who knows? Number 4, boys, is going all in on 1 or 2 cards for a potential Evo. And I've gone back to my transfer list here because, as you boys might have seen recently, This is what I'm looking to do very, very soon. I'm looking to go all in on a potential EVO card or an EVO position. You can often choose a position. So how do we go all in? What cards do we choose? What price can we buy for? And when do we actually do this? Well, I'll cover it all, boys, before we get into point number 5, the little secret cool bonus tip, right? How do we go all in for evolution cards? Step 1 is knowing what EVOs have been out on the game so far. So we've already had a CDM EVO, we've had a right wing EVO, we've had a left wing EVO, we've had a central midfielder EVO, we've had a right back EVO, but this EVO is not actually a right back, it's any position. If you look here, so we've not had a right back EVO. But we've had central midfielder, we've had CDM, we've had left wing and right wing, and we've had a few other things, right? The EVOs we've not had in a while are left back, right back, and striker and centre back as well, right? We don't really care about goalkeeper EVOs, they're never too great. We've not had left back, right back, and striker, so they're the positions we would target because we want to get the next EVO coming. We don't want to go all in on a card that's not going to rise for another 6 months again, like we said before, right? So right back, centre back, left back, and striker. Now, you could pick between any of them, but a lot of people have already started looking at this card as a potential EVO investment because we've not had a right back in a while. He came down nicely, as you've seen, to about 12,000 coins. And if this card fits an EVO, you could easily see him get to 20 or 30,000 coins. Do I think you should all go all in on Llorente? Maybe, for a good price, maybe. I'm looking at him as well, but I want him at a good price. He's a little bit up right now. But that's how you find the position. So you found the position. How do you know what cards? And the rule with this is always choose the most popular cards. Never try and be a little bit sneaky and choose a card that people aren't thinking about. Choose the super, super popular cards. Some obvious ones are like Cristiano Ronaldo. We're now getting 85 rated EVOs. It's Ronaldo. If we get a striker EVO, which you've not had in a while, that this Cristiano Ronaldo fits, and you can give him like a pace boost, you can give him maybe like rapid or quick step. He's of course already got power shot plus, which isn't ideal, but you should still be able to give him passing play styles, finesse, rapid, quick step, pace boost, whatever it is. He could be a great all-in investment. Another one I like, because Saudi League is actually quite good this year, is Kareem, the Dream, low-driven, rap, Benzema, incisive, finesse, low-driven, yeah, that one as well. First touch, relentless, I don't know, boys, good card, but imagine we got a pace EVO that gets him to 90 pace and it gives him rapid, right? This card could go from fodder price to, I don't know, 1 million coins, let's say. So we're choosing the super popular cards. We're, of course, being smart with the rating. We've covered that in a previous tip. But again, currently EVOs are all 85 rated, so we're not going to go and choose a card that's 86 and above. A good example of that will be Claudia Pina. I know a lot of you boys want to invest for an EVO. We don't have 86 rated EVOs yet. They might be coming very soon. I've heard rumours we're getting them at Team of the Year. Believe me, if you want. If you don't, fair play. But she, of course, when we get an EVO, will go to about... She actually will go to 1 million coins, like jokes aside. So she's already up because people are investing in her for an EVO already. I'm not going to touch her just yet. I don't think we're getting 86 EVOs for a little bit, but that is one you can do. Now, I would stick to 85. I would stick to the super popular cards, but we still need to know when to buy, what to buy for. In terms of when to buy, this one is super duper simple. You can buy 2 options, right? One, you can buy when the card is low, but that's like obvious, right? You never really know when the card is low. Number 2 is a little bit simpler, and I would just say buy on Friday nights / Saturday mornings UK time. Look at this Llorente graph, right? Friday night, Saturday morning, that's his biggest dip. Look at this graph here. Friday night, Saturday morning, that's his biggest dip. Now, you might not catch the exact bottom, as we can see there, but you can see if you bought Friday night, Saturday morning on both of them, you are pretty safe. So buy time is 99% of the time. Friday night, Saturday morning. That's for gold cards. If you're doing special cards and the card is out of packs, you can pretty much buy it whenever it's low because it's out of packs. So Friday supply doesn't really affect the card too much. In terms of what to buy it for, boys, I wish I could give you all a magic calculator that you put some buttons in and it buys the card for you, but I can't, right? What we've got to do is try and buy the card when it's low, okay? Now, that's tough to know because when do you know this Llorente is low? All I do is use previous sales, right? This Llorente here, as you can see, the lowest he's been is 12,000, 11,000 coins. I'm going to try and buy this card, if I was going to buy it, as close to 12 or 11,000 coins as possible. Now, if he never gets to that price and he goes skyrockets for the next EVO and I missed out on an opportunity to buy, that is fine. I will move on to the next card and I will try and get Ibanez when he's next low. So his next low for him is 14,000 coins. He's currently 23. I'll wait for 14. If he never gets there, I'll move on to the next card. I'm never going to get caught buying a card like here when it's 23,000 coins, 26,000 coins, whatever, and he falls back down. I don't really like doing that. So I'm always going to try and buy a card at the next, previous low that we've seen. In terms of when to sell these cards, boys, if it wasn't obvious from before, right? Sell them in the hype. Never hold these cards into the EVO. I hope that was obvious. Sell them in the hype, right? You never want to hold any EVO card that you picked up into the EVO. Yes, like I said before, very few will spike, but most of them won't. won't. And just before the secret number 5 tip, like I say, boys, we often post these cards in the free Discord. Feel free to join it. If not, no worries. Number 5, boys. Also, I've got Katy Perry on in the ears right now. California Girls. What a tune. But number 5, what is the secret bonus, like, little tip, right? Now, this one isn't always an exact science, but I'll try and walk you through how you can do something that not a lot of people are doing. This is trading with cards that are related to EVO cards. I'll explain what I mean. One example could be chemistry styles. Another example could be managers. Another example could be manager leagues. Now, I want to show you how powerful this is, right? Have you seen the Futbin Son EVO we got at the start of this week, right? It was an amazing EVO. Insane, right? Republic of Korea managers were discard, boys. They were literally discard. I think they might have been just above, but they were like 300 coins, right? They've come back down now to 1,000 coins. So even if you sold now, you're 5xing your coins. In their spike, when Futbin Son got the EVO, right, a day later, these were 3.6 thousand coins at like insta-sell. There was none on the market at 3.6. They've come back down now. They're still holding 1,000 coins in value as more people open up bronze and silver packs and get them back down on the market, basically. But they were 3.6 thousand coins from discard. That's like a 1,000,000%. I'm not working out. It's like a 1,000,000% profit value or profit margin, right? Another one is chemistry styles. Now, this one's even easier. If we get an EVO coming, boys, and it is like insane centre-back EVO. Do you know when you see all the leakers on Twitter going, blah, 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 it's the best EVO ever, right? You can use that, to be honest. Use it against them. And if anchors are currently quite cheap, right now they're a little bit up, expensive at like 1.7 thousand coins. But if anchors were cheap and they were 1,000 coins, and we're getting like the best centre-back EVO ever, you can go and invest in anchors because everyone's going to need a chem style for their new centre-back. And it's hunters for attackers. Now, if hunters are max price, because a lot of the times they get to max price and you can't invest in hunters, you can go for some of the next best things, which are like hawks, engines, and even finishers this year have been decent. Wherever finishers are, they're near the top. Boom, finishers. They're also decent. So attackers, finisher, hawk and engine, and defenders, anchors, shadows and hunter are normally max price, so we stay away from those. And another sneaky little tip is link investments. This only works in very specific situations, right? So this Son got an EVO, and how many players in the game linked to Futbin Son? Barely any. This card did not rise in price because think about it, right? Where are you going to play that Futbin Son? You're going to play him up front, so you don't need another striker. However, if Futbin Son in another life was a central midfielder and he got an insane EVO, like Futbin Son got an insane EVO, and he's really hard to link, right? You can't link him. There's no Korean players on the game. You can imagine that this quite decent Korean striker, or even better, his better version on the game, because he has like a Champions League version, I believe. If we can find it, there you go. His even better version, because it's the only link to an EVO, will skyrocket in price. So, for example, if we get Ibanez and we get an amazing EVO, maybe Teo Hernandez or a Saudi link. If we get Son, a Korean player, you can see how if we get an insane EVO where one player is clearly the best player, you can go and choose link investments for that card. So you've got club stock and EVOs, trading EVOs after they're out, Futbin market page EVOs, going all in on EVOs, and then our secret link or chemistry style investment on EVOs. I think I've just put up 6 fingers, but there are 5 different ways I EVO trade, you EVO trade. I do all of these type of stuff live on the Twitch stream, boys, as you will know. So yeah, if this video helps you out whatsoever, could you leave a like on the video, boys? It helps push it. I don't know, all that good stuff. I appreciate you all at the minute. You guys have just been class on the channel, so a lot of love to you, boys. Comment down below what is the best EVO in your team at the moment, because I have 0. I barely have any EVOs in my team. So what are you boys running? And if you do want recommendations for players in your team, we literally did a whole video on the best player in every position at every single budget. I'm just treating you guys recently. Nah, I'm messing, but you can go and check that out on screen now. But like always, boys, until next time, I'll see you all in a bizzle.